6 rules for a great resume. Rule number 1, know and communicate your strengths. Design your resume around your strengths, the skills that make you valuable to employers. Your resume is your primary advertising piece. It should be more than just a list of your past jobs, much more. Yes, job history is part of the resume, but often the job history doesn't clearly show what you have to offer as an employee. And your job history can be problematic if you're trying to change fields or industries, or even take on a different role in your current organization. How do you identify your strengths? Start by asking yourself this question: what skills or abilities do I have that make me an irresistible job candidate? These are the things that you do especially well. Limit it to 2 to 5 areas. These are the assets that you have and they need. Your resume should be designed around these areas and clearly convey them to potential employers. Rule number 2, give proof of each strength. You don't just name your strengths and leave it at that. You need to give evidence that proves you have each strength. What do I mean by evidence? Well, for example, you wouldn't just say you're an excellent team leader. You need to give evidence. You need to give specific examples of what you have done that shows your excellent leadership. Or you wouldn't just claim you're an outstanding marketing professional and leave it at that. You would give specific examples that demonstrate your marketing ability, your marketing success. Or you wouldn't just claim you're a good project manager. You would use specific examples of the types of projects you have managed in the past and the results of each. You need to do that for each of your 2 to 5 strengths. But when I say specific examples, I'm not talking about a list of your previous job duties or previous job descriptions. That isn't convincing evidence. I want you to focus on your accomplishments and achievements, the things you have done that are unique to you, examples that give scope, context, and quantify each of your strengths. I want you to show how competent you are by describing what you have actually done. Each of your strengths should have multiple examples that prove your competence, at least 3 real-life examples for each of your strengths. Rule number 3, avoid long skill lists. Many people make this mistake. Don't have long lists of skills or margin-to-margin blocks of text summarizing your career. They're difficult to read, they don't show competence, and often come across as not believable. For example, I reviewed a resume claiming expertise in over 80 different unrelated skills, from marketing to communications to accounting to software. Having expertise in that many areas just wasn't believable and hurt the person's chances of being seriously considered. Or the resume I recently received that was 14 pages long. It had a list of 13 different skills on the first page alone. It's better to focus on fewer areas but cover them in detail, like I mentioned in rules 1 and 2. Long lists of skills don't show competence, and they come across as showing lack of focus and lack of mastery. Rule number 4, use the resume format or layout that best communicates your strengths. That's right, you don't choose the resume format first and then fit your information into it. You determine your strengths and evidence first, then use the resume format that best conveys that information. Whether it's a traditional chronological resume format, or a functional resume format, or a blend of the two, or your own unique design, the format should make it easy for potential employers to clearly see, first, what your strengths are, and second, evidence of your competence in each. Yes, you want your resume to look nice and attractive and be easy to read, but it's the content of your resume that will make employers want to interview you, not the pretty layout or graphics. Rule number 5, don't undersell yourself. This is not the time to be bashful. Tell your story with confidence and facts. Don't be afraid to tell them your strengths and accomplishments. Just do it in a clear, organized, convincing way. You need to clearly tell employers what it is about you that makes you valuable to their organization. In other words, how hiring you benefits them. Don't expect them to figure out the benefits of hiring you. Tell them the benefits of hiring you. Remember, the purpose of the resume is to convince them that they need to learn more about you, that they need to meet and interview you. Rule number 6, be honest. Never lie on a resume. Everything in your resume should be truthful. If you claim you can do something that you can't, it will usually become obvious once you're on the job. And if you are dishonest in any part of the job application process and it's discovered, you have no legal protections and can be immediately terminated from your job no matter how long ago you were hired. Bottom line, always be honest. If you follow these 6 rules, you'll be on the right track to a great resume, which in turn leads to the interview and the job you want. Thanks for joining me.